Welcome to ATO Unfiltered, where we talk about all things mental and behavioral health. We interview incredible individuals to dive deep into their stories of aspiring, thriving, and overcoming. Connect with us to discover emotional understanding and find resources to help you live the life you strive for. I'm Xotchil Rodriguez. I'm your host. Let's dive in. Hello and welcome to ATO Unfiltered. We are here with a guest in our episode today, which has a tremendous and powerful story, and we cannot wait to dive in. Thank you for being here and listen to this because it's going to be a very interesting story. Kiersten, welcome to our space, and thank you so much for being here. So, first of all, I know you a little bit, not too much, but a little bit. But tell our audience who you are. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, as she said beforehand, I'm Kiersten. I am currently a grad student. I graduated with my undergraduate degree in psychology from the University of Houston downtown. And I'm currently at Lamar University pursuing my master's in clinical psychology.
Awesome, awesome. Welcome to the field of therapy. And so, how much do you have left to graduate?
It's crazy. I just started, but
Yeah.
I think I'm halfway there because after this class, I will be starting residency.
Ooh, that's interesting.
I'm so nervous, but
Yeah.
I'm just praying and hoping that everything goes well.
Yes. No. And I mean, nothing can go wrong, right? It's a very. I mean, I'm in the field, obviously, so it's a very subjective field, but also as long as you have the heart for it and the passion for it, that's all that matters, really. And so, well, congratulations on that. And yeah, what do you like the most about what you're doing, what you're studying?
Um, Studying the mind because it's always changing. There will never be anything the same when it comes to studying any advanced psychology.
Yeah.
And people think that it's so easy. No,
Yeah.
it is not easy at all. You'll understand on a basic level, but then when you get further and further and deeper into those conversations, you're going to be like, wow,
Yes.
this is amazing.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to focus more on a cognitive level because that is the most interesting psychology you will ever read about. Members.
And humanity, we're so complex. We all have stories, and we're about to listen to yours, and I cannot wait for you to share it. But we all have stories. We all have upbringings. We have cultures. We have traditions. We have so many things that build us to who we are, and that for me, that's just fascinating. And you just for me, I love it because you never stop learning. There's always something. Either for me, it's a new client or a colleague or and even an old friend that I've known for years, and there's a new development, and so things people change but we don't change. It's so interesting. So I know you're here to tell us your story, and I cannot wait for you to start. So tell us what is your overcome and thrive story that you want to share with our audience.
Well, I do want to start with as a child, I was tactic weird. It's okay because weird is the new
Right.
But I was very to myself. I like playing by myself. I was an only child growing up,
Okay.
but I like playing by myself. I liked doing things by myself, even in school when we had like group projects. I wanted to do it by myself. And that caused me to just be a little shy at first. And so when I get middle school, I was still that same weird person I was as a child. So it caused me to get bullied
Okay.
a lot. And I was bullied for my voice, my height, my teeth, my glasses. Because they definitely pointed it out. And it caused me to feel suicidal.
Oh, we're going to touch that subject, huh? That was a surprise. So tell me about that. Because we need to open up about that conversation. We need to make sure that people understand that if they're going through something, it's not just them, that a lot of us have gone through that process and overcome it. So tell me about that.
So When I first had thoughts of it,
Mm-hmm.
I told my mom,
Okay.
but my mom was saying that, oh, it's not true. You're just going through a phase. And culturally speaking, coming from an African American household, we didn't have therapy like that. We just bottled in our emotions and we put it to the side because that did not matter.
Right.
So when I actually sent a message to my friend saying, like, I love you guys, bye, that's when my mom was saying, okay, we're going to get you some help,
Okay.
promise.
Mm-hmm.
So my first therapist was not the same color as me, and he was also a man.
Mm.
And so it was hard for me to open up to him. And the second therapist, that didn't work out either because it was similar.
Okay.
So my third therapist, she ended up being a Black woman,
Mm-hmm.
and I was able to open up to her more. And she's also a stranger,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of weird saying this, but you can open up better to a stranger than your own parent
That is correct. Yes.
because it can be so hard to open up to a parent because they'll try and say, "That's not true. I know you. I gave birth to you. I know everything about you.
Yes.
Act wild me."
Mm-hmm.
So I had to take that step forward and say, like, I'm going through this, then the other. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Cupid's help.
And that is so important. And I mean, and you're right. And there's so many culturally, I'm Hispanic, so that happens too, where either you negate it, it's like, no, it's not that bad, or you just crazy, it's just a phase, or there's so many things too. Because I'm a mother too, so as a mom, you don't want to accept the fact that your baby's thinking those things. And it's so scary. It is very scary because you're like, no, you need to be safe. And it's my job to keep you safe. And I'm talking more as a mom, right? But so tell me, how old were you when you first told your mom?
Um, 11.
Wow, you were very young. So by that time, you felt that you were so bullied that you wanted to end your life at 11, such a young age. Um, I think it's important to know that because it's true. It's a reality. Our kids are having those feelings and those emotions. And yes, it can be hormonal. Yes, it can be environmental.
Yeah.
And I understand, like I'm very well aware that bullying has existed for centuries, but the way that we are coping with it is very different. So you told your mom, and then you didn't connect with your first two therapists. You said they were male, not different color. And that's important to remember that if anybody that tries to go to therapy, because I've experienced it with clients too, it's like if you try to go to therapy and it doesn't fit. It's not that he was a bad therapist, it's just it didn't fit. And so it doesn't mean that therapy doesn't work. It means that it's just not the right fit. So keep going. And I'm so grateful that you can give us that example that you went through first two, and then the third one was the winner, or it sounds like. Um, so tell me about your process with this therapist during your journey, and if you want to, however much you want to share, how long you were in therapy, what was your process, how did your thought process change, and then how did you get to this point out in life?
So I'm still currently in therapy. I
Okay.
never leave because
Yes.
I love it so much.
Yes.
Everyone needs therapy, no matter how older than you are.
Yes. Absolutely.
But I started in middle school and I was very shy at first because I didn't necessarily want to tell her everything because, my mom was right outside the door.
Yes.
And she'll eventually have to talk to my mom because I was still on my. So with that, we had to go back home and then we're going to have to talk about it again. And I don't want to have to talk about it. So I did take a small hiatus from therapy until I was 18
Okay.
so that I could go back to my therapist and tell her what I have going on without her having to go back to my because I want to overcome this by myself.
Yes.
This is something I had to learn on my own. I thank my mom for taking me to therapy at 1st, but this is something I had to figure out on my own because my mom has never experienced this. And she's new to therapy just as how I was new to therapy
Yes.
because she didn't have to find.
Well, no. And it's a different generation. There's nothing, we're not blaming. Like, yes or no, for your mom being not being open to therapy, but she was open enough to take you to therapy. So, it's different generations, and now we know better. So now we do better. So I'm so glad that you touched base on that. Well, I'm gonna go back a little bit because most of my clients are teenagers in my private practice. And if you're a teenager and watching this because you feel connected to the story, I just want to share with you guys. As therapists, we're not supposed to share with parents. Maybe that's something that wasn't discussed in therapy, but unless it was something that was, that put the child in danger, then maybe that's the reason why the therapist didn't share. Or did you want to keep it to yourself so that your therapist didn't share. And a lot of times it happens where, as kids, this is something that I talk about with my clients and also with my own kids about. Yes, I trust my mom. I love my mom. I want to tell things to my mom. I don't want to say everything to my mom. Because they don't want to worry us. They don't want to, things like that. And there's different reasons for that because there's things that they're deep in your thoughts and your dark places in your brain that you only feel comfortable talking to a stranger about. That's not judging you or anything. So it's just like I can share anything with this person and go through the process. So you went to therapy back when you're 18. And now tell me the growth that meant to you from you or you're 18 and now from learning that and from being in therapy. What are you learning about yourself?
What I learned first off is that people really don't care that much about what you have going on in your own life. And if they do, that's something they have to figure out for themselves.
Exactly.
Not me. And I wish I learned that when I was younger, because then I wouldn't have cared so much about being bullied or the peer pressure, even cyberbullying, because it did get that bad.
Okay.
And I just wish so much that I just had that mentality of I don't care. And even with all of my mentees that I have who are getting bullied, I tell them, because I'm not a therapist yet, I will tell them, you're not going to care by the time you reach.
Yeah. This is not going to be important.
It's not.
Yeah.
And if they're still worried about it, that means they still have a childlike mindset, because that does not.
Yeah. At the end of the day, right? And but there's no age that I think it's, that's all they care about. The kids, they care. Like I said, I have most of my clients are teenagers, and that's what they care about, what other people think and getting out of the bubble. And then you come back, you bring it back to you, and it's like, no, wait a minute. I need to care about what I think about myself, and how I accept myself and ask for help when I need it.
Yeah.
So
I feel like I cared so much about my social life, quote unquote, that it was hurting academically. I mean, I'm skipping school, missing class. I'm trying to figure out what did they post about me on Instagram. Oh, is this about me? What?
yeah,
That's not going to get you that. At the end of the day, you want to be successful in life. You want to reach for your goals, achieve your goals.
Excellent point right there. Because a lot of the kids, they don't think about goals. They don't think about the future. So what made you kind of refocus? You know what? It's me. So what's that switch? Because I think that's the transition that a lot of people miss. And you experienced it when you're younger, but I see it even with with an older audience, with adults, with women, especially like women that are empty nesters. That's my age right now. They're my age group. So, but they're like, they feel lost. So tell me a little bit about how your brain worked with that transition. Like, you know what? I have goals in my life and this is not going to matter. I'm going to focus over here, in the future. I'm going to focus on my goals. By the way, you already talk like you're a therapist, girl. You're like, I love it.
So if I told you my age, being shocked.
Yeah. So I might be. I don't know.
I'm 22.
Oh, you're a baby. Oh my gosh. Okay, so tell me. Can you imagine if I was that wise at that age, where I would be right now? I am telling you. But anyway, I know what I'm doing. But good for you. Good for you. I completely applaud. young people that are focused and that they know what they're doing because for some of us it took a while. So let's go back to that mentality of I have goals. I need to focus on my future. I don't know how long this was, but you're only 22.
Let's see, 4 years ago.
Okay. Wow.
4 years ago.
So tell me about that. Tell me how how your brain kind of switches like, no, I'm gonna make this decision. And I'm pretty sure, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's something that you have to kind of repeat yourself all the time about where is it that you're going and not being pulled back to what are people saying about me. So tell me a little bit, how would you explain that switch?
I consider this my frontal lobe developing
Yes.
because I think that's literally what it is. It was like it's like I got hit with a cast iron skillet inside the head. That's literally what it felt like.
Yes.
And I remember this day so well because I remember how it happened. It was still during the pandemic and I was in class online. And I get a message from my ex best friend.
And that's for another episode.
That she wants to go shopping. And I'm like, I'm in class. I cannot go. She's just like, well, you're the one who has the card. You're the one who makes the money. You have a job.
Oh,
And at that moment, I'm like, you know what? We're not friends anymore.
yeah.
Sorry to you. I wish you well.
Yeah.
Please leave.
Yeah. We're not speaking the same language.
Right.
Yes.
And it's true. We're still going down different paths to this day.
Mhm.
And she does her own thing. I do mine.
Mhm.
And along with her in that group I was in, they all shifted with her.
Yeah.
So I became friendless.
Yes.
And even though I was sad, I can't even lie and say that I was fine. No,
Mhm.
I was sad that I lost my best friend for almost 10 years.
Mhm.
All the memories and everything seem flooding back. And it's just like, wow.
Mhm.
All because I made the decision to let them go.
Mhm.
But I knew as soon as I made that decision, my grades went up quickly.
Mhm.
I started putting myself in extracurricular activities that would help me thrive to be the person that I am today
Mhm.
and just put myself around more educated
Mhm.
people.
Yeah. Yeah. And just people that you can have smoother conversations with that have the same goals that you do and the same path that you do. And that happens a lot, you guys. Whenever we're making a change or we're evolving and we're focusing on our future, you might lose friends. Not you might. Most likely you will. Sometimes you lose support from even family. I know it happened in my field. Family members are like, "Oh, why do you want to do that? Like, why do you not want to have fun? Why do you not want to do this? Or why do you want to hang out with us anymore? Why are you not coming to like every barbecue every weekend?" I'm like, "No, because I'm busy. I have to work. Like, I'm doing stuff. I'm doing something that means something to me." And it's doesn't mean that we love them less. It's just like, you know what? Life is full of different stages, and this is my stage to do this, and then I'll have on the stage to where you have your full license and you practice, and then God knows where you're gonna go and what you're gonna do with it, right? So I love this story. I think so many people can resonate with that story. And thank you so much for sharing. So tell me about, I know we're talking before we started filming about what is the message that you want to set, especially to young people.
Your mental health matters. If you need to speak to somebody, speak to them. Your mental health matters. You matter.
Thank you so much, Kristen. You do matter. You are you are somebody, and if you have different focuses, different opinions, different plans for your life than everybody else around you, it's okay. You can act upon them, and then you'll meet new people with that you have more in common with. Like I said, it's not we're thinking we're more or less or I'm better than you. That has nothing to do with it. It's just a different path, just a different road. So I so admire that you were able to talk about asking for help at such a young age. And moms, if you are here and you're listening to this story, please know that if your kid asks for help, it's because they need it. Culturally, again, I'm Hispanic, African American, it doesn't matter what culture. If your kid is asking for help and they need support, it's not that you're doing a bad job as a mom. It's just your kid sometimes needs to talk to a stranger and kind of so they can open up, and because they don't want to worry you, they don't want to scare you, they don't, and it's okay. Again, it doesn't speak about the job that they're doing as parents. Tell me about your relationship with your mom, just to kind of close it up.
Oh, my mom and I, we have a wonderful relationship.
That was a
I'm going, that's what.
yes. And that's important to know. That's important. You keep having a relationship with your mom. So moms, you don't lose your child because they're seeing a therapist. So it's okay. It's okay to see a therapist. Thank you so much, Kristen, for your message. I think that was very powerful. Thank you for sharing. And I love the stories. And that's why we did this podcast, because I love the stories where you make something out of nothing, or make something out of something bad like bullying and people making fun of you and feeling like you didn't have any worth. And you're like, no, wait, something inside of me saying that I do have worth, that I do matter. And now you're going this path for psychology and being able to reach others and to impact others. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for being here. You guys, thank you so much for listening. I hope that this story of aspire, thriving, and overcoming touches your heart. And if it does, please share the episode. Go into our social media so you can connect with us and learn about what we're doing. And so thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.